Hello everybody. So today I want to explain a little bit about the cost of fate when you want to do solo stuff. And sometimes it can be in the beginning a little bit confusing as how much cost what when you do what and which nodes help you in reducing the fate cost. So I made a kind of quick Excel sheet with a little bit of information about this. So you can see the base normally is that you pay 700 fate when you're in a group type of activity and 70 fate when you are doing solo stuff. So that's the starting point. And then in the Divine Atlas you will have a node, Gods of Truth. This will give you a reduction of minus 200 for group and minus 20 of solo. So let's have a look at that. So this is this node all the way on the top, so God's Truth. So the cost of activating the divine form is reduced by 20 points of fate. So this explanation is probably something translated from Russian, but it's a factor 20 and 200 basically. So 20 solo and 200 when you're in a group mode. So let's see then the next one we have. So then you have left over. So once you have that, you're actually looking at 550. So then we forget about the solo one, because from now on we're going to do solo activities which actually are always done in group. So I divided them in 4 groups. So we have group instances, the 5-man instances. Then we have the party instances, which are also 5-man. Then we have the invasion one, which can be 3, 5, or even 10. And then we have the hostiles one, which is normally 5, but which can be also done with less. So if you look at a little bit as the group one, so in God of Travels, so you have there a node which will reduce a 40% cost reduction for group, so minus 200. This node is called Guide. So let's have a look at that. So I go to God of Travels, and then it's somewhere in the middle. I think it's a little bit up in the middle, and there you have it, Guide. So the cost of turning into a god in the group type areas is reduced by 40. Okay. So then the next one, so if you look at that, after that minus 200, so then we are already left at 300, which is still quite expensive. So then you have 3 nodes which also are in the God of Travels, which is called Crushing Light. So you have this 3 times, and this will reduce 20, 40, 60%. So with this you can have minus 180, and then you end up with like a base cost of fate when you do group runs of 120. So let's have a quick look at that. So I'm not gonna look at them all, I'm just gonna look at them one. Where is the one of the group? Here you have one. So there are 3 of this around in this atlas. So when turning into God in the group tab iris, the God of the no, sorry, it was not that one. This is the one where you get buffed, so you also need to get that one to get more damage. That's party, invasion, party again, hostile, and it's when you need it you don't find it. That's also party, invasion, party, here you go. So the cost of turning into God in the group type areas is reduced by 20, 40, 60%. So you have something extra in this one as well in Crushing Light. So if the God leaves the area before the divine form runs out, you can return 30, 60, 100%, not percent, fate, exact fate. So 100 fate you can return. That means you should not die, and you should finish it before the timer run out, because when you die you also lose your fate. So when we go back now, so you can see here, so we have 120 as a base, and if we finish it in time you end up with 20 as a cost. So this is quite good. This can help to cap if you're collecting sparks, and you can do very fast group instances for only a cost of 20. Just make sure you don't die, which normally should not be the case. So then the next one is the party one, party solo. So here it's already a little bit special. Here also you have these reductions of 40%, but this one is not in the God of Troubles. So this one can be found in the God of Defense, and it's called Punishing Hand. So it's the same reduction. So let's quickly look at it. So I go to God of Defense, and they're all quite in the beginning, so this is quite good. If you have that one, God of Defense, I think this is the hostile territories, and it's this one, Punishing Hand. So the cost of activating the Defiant form in the party is reduced by 40. So I merely show you the other one. So you also have the one of the hostile territories. This is also there, and then I think one more, and this is for the, there you go, for the invasion one. So for only the group one you can do with the God of Travels. For all the other ones, to get the extra reductions, you need the God of Defense Atlas, and they're also in there, all in this straight line basically. Okay, and also something extra you get in here is the 15 minutes for the hostile territories. Okay, so let's go back to the sheet and just go through it. So of course you can see here the difference between the solo group and the party solo is that your reduction is less. So it's actually more expensive to do solo party, because this is a 10-man instance. So basically you have a base of 80, but actually 180 if you die. And actually this is, you know, if you think, I'm gonna do party solo, it's 80, I can form all the rings and get the flute at the end of the instance, you might be mistaken, because the last boss of Medea is quite special and needs some special tactics to beat it. So you might in the beginning lose a lot of fate by that, because you would lose always 180 whenever you die or you don't make it. I think you would need God of Hand to kill the last boss to do very fast damage that you can burn him down before he starts casting flowers that heal him up again. So if you don't have the damage burst, you need to do either Berserker to move the flowers, or the Alchemist, but you know, then it's become a very long fight, and then it's not so easy anymore. So you know, if you want to go, you think, I'm gonna do that first and get all my party solo nodes, then to do Medea solo, then you might be mistaken. So should maybe not be your first priority. Invasion solo, so same thing, the nodes can be found all in the same atlases. So here again you end up with the same cost as the group solo, so that's quite interesting. Again, if you want to cap tokens, you know, like those where you get 120k tokens is quite interesting if you can do it solo and you don't need to find a group, and it's only 20 fate cost. And then the hostile solo, there it's a little bit more expensive, simply because you cannot have the return of the fate, because you know, it's not really an instance, it's an area. So that's why you have the extra reduction when you do the nodes. So your base cost is, your optimal cost is 90. So this is a little bit of summary. There's other things of fate reduction for when being in group or in open area, but I covered this purely to do pure solo in God mode, and what is actually your fate cost for that. So that's basically it. Bye bye.